Hi guys, my name is Matt Darvas. I'm 21. I'm a university student back in Australia, where I've also been volunteering with World Vision for the past couple of years. We've been exploring the global food crisis for this year's 40-hour famine. Isaiah's message was quite clear. Is it not to share your food with the hungry and to provide the poor wanderer with shelter? When you see the naked, to clothe him, and not to turn away from your own flesh and blood? Then your light will break forth like the dawn, and your healing will quickly appear. Then your righteousness will go before you, and the glory of the Lord will be your rear guard. Then you will call, and the Lord will answer. You will cry for help, and he will say, Here I am. If you do away with the yoke of oppression, with the pointing finger and malicious talk, and if you spend yourselves in behalf of the hungry and satisfy the needs of the oppressed, then your light will rise in the darkness, and your night will become like the noonday. The Lord will guide you always. He will satisfy your needs in a sun-scorched land, and will strengthen your frame. Throughout history, the church has been a place where the poor are looked after, where the needs of the world are met. The global food crisis is the next big challenge, where the church must again step up. We're up on this roof speaking about community, and really it started to drive home a couple of things for me. When the church was in its early days, the reason it was able to stick together and grow was because they understood community. They understood what it meant to come together as a group of people living out a way that they had been told about, and to function and to keep going forward in a time where they were living in an occupied territory where there was rural poverty, very similar to this. They did just that. We read in Acts that the different followers would bring together their possessions, they would bring together their harvest and lay it at the feet of the apostles, and then it would be up to the apostles to divvy it up. We read that there was no one in need at that time. And I think we've strayed from that because we've got possessions and we've got material, and sometimes we think we can do it on our own. And it's often become a culture of how can I get ahead, or what do I need from other people, rather than what can I contribute back to other people. And that was really at the center of what Jesus came to preach. And if the church is supposed to be the embodiment of Jesus and his lifestyle, then surely there's something to learn from what's going on here. For Lalu's grandfather, in 1 year, drought has killed the crop up here and flood has washed away his field down here, and it's no telling when the rains will come again. Sarita's family doesn't have any land to grow crops on, so they have to buy all their food from the market. As a result of the global food crisis, prices have skyrocketed. Sarita's mum now has to go and look for paid work, and for Sarita, she has to step up and do all her mum's household chores. So instead of going to school, playing with her friends, she's cooking, collecting the firewood, preparing meals. That's a lot of responsibility for a 10-year-old girl. If we are really going to live our kingdom come philosophy, if we are going to be the hands and feet of Jesus in the modern world today, we need to be taking action on these issues. People here are having to answer some really big questions about where is God in the midst of having no food, in not knowing how they're going to be able to provide for their family, of losing people they love because they simply don't have enough to give them. We need to engage with the stories that we've heard out in Nepal, and to engage with the stories of families that are suffering the burden of the global food crisis, and find out, how do we respond? Where do we start to fit in as part of the solution? Is it not our role as Christians to come alongside these people, to show them God's love, to reconnect them to what it is really all about? We know all the statistics, we've heard some of the stories, and it really can seem overwhelming. But when we strip it all back, isn't it just what we hear in Micah 6:8? What does the Lord require of us? But to act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. I think we really need to reach a point where we realize all this stuff about fighting injustice and about poverty and the message that Jesus had to spread around it isn't just some add-on part to our faith. So many times when we're looking to search out God or to know where he is in the world, and we're asking the big questions about why is suffering, it's really quite simple. God just asks us to mirror his son, to come alongside the poor, or anyone who is in need for that matter of fact, and just to show them his love and the compassion that he had for them. By doing the 40-hour famine, you are doing what it is that God wants us to be doing here on earth. So do something real and do the 40-hour famine.